Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about some accessories I've designed and made for the SSUPD Meshlicious and Meshroom S. But first, if you are here specifically looking for install instructions, there will be timestamps below so you can hop straight to what you need. Otherwise, let me show you what I've been up to for the past month or so. So the SSUPD, or Sunnyside Up Design, Meshlicious, and Meshroom S, which is their kind of newer revision, have been some of my favorite small form factor ITX cases, mainly because you can just fit such a wide variety of hardware in these. Currently there's an RTX 4090 in here, Founders Edition, which fits perfectly like a glove, and I want to show that to you guys, but first we need to open this thing, which led me to my first problem when I was working with this case. It's actually really hard to open this case with your bare hands, and when you do, you almost kind of feel like you're breaking it or bending it in some way. So the first thing that I whipped up is actually this little ITX case opener. This is something that I'm gonna put up for anyone to download off printables.com, and there will be a link in the description for this, but basically how this works is you just guess where the pins are not, like where you have an open area, and you literally just push it in, and it just pops it up so much nicer. You don't have to flex and bend the side panel. So you can get the top off, and same thing, we just kind of push in, release the clips. Like, I've had these side panels off and on 100 times, but when this is brand new and these clips are really stiff, you can actually deform the panel and bend it because these clips are so tight. So instead, you can come in with the tool and you can just kind of pop it off like that, and it puts a lot less stress on the clips. So there's the RTX 4090 Founders in there. As you can see, fits like a freaking glove. So as I go through these products, I'm showing them in order from ones that I think anybody can use up to people who are just cramming the highest end hardware in here and need the most amount of cooling. So first thing I wanted to show off is this motherboard spacer / cable management tray. And basically what this does, I have one installed on this system here. It allows you to push your motherboard away from the center of the case, and you can slide this piece from this position over to this side, and what that allows you to do is space the motherboard tray out and give you a place to put all your cables in behind here. And I'm not the first one to think of this. People have been adding a couple different motherboard standoffs together and spacing the motherboard out to give you that cable management channel for a while. But the risk of doing that is when you jam cables along the back side of your motherboard, you run a really good chance of snagging on one of these little tiny components and potentially ripping it off and doing damage. So what you can do instead is install this ITX motherboard tray. You can see right now, this tray I already have installed is purple, and I thought that was a cool little accent color, but after looking at it for a bit, I decided to print it in blue so I could match these accent colors that are already in here. So let me swap that out and show you how to install this. Wow, so that involved tearing the entire thing apart to get that tray out, but that's okay. We gotta have that blue matching tray in there. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is remove these factory motherboard standoffs from the tray. Second step is take your tray, line up the holes so that you know the tray is in the right way. And then what you're gonna wanna do is take your spacers and slide them through from the front and then thread them in like that, so that the longer part of the spacer is gonna face towards the spine of the case. So do that for the other three. So what I like to do, lay the case flat. Hopefully you can see through this opening a little bit. Orientate the tray so it lines up over the factory standoff holes. Then take your motherboard, line it up with your IO shield, line up the tray, line up the holes, take your included screw. Maybe I'll do this one here. Maybe you can see this one. And yeah, just gently guide it down into the hole and just leave it loose until you get the other one started. So I got two started now. Double check your IO shield, everything's lined up, and put the last two screws in. And there we go. We've now created a space for the, one last step, the snap cover. So this cover, the reason why I decided to leave this cutout in the tray is so that if you did want to change the CPU cooler in the future, or if your motherboard does use a M.2 slot on the back, you could take this cover and be able to change it. It is perforated, so it does allow some airflow. It's the same hole pattern that's around the IO shield here and on the back of the case. Feed it in and snap it in. It's a little fiddly. So now I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild the system real quick, and when I get to doing the cable management over this back section, I'll slow down the video and I'll show you what's going on back there. Now the first thing I'm gonna run is the 8-pin EPS up here for the CPU. So now you can take these cables and you can just slide them in through here. There we go, CPU run is done. Okay, now that we have this adapter installed, we can strategically fish it in here. So the last thing we can do is take this extra bundle of GPU cable, kind of push it up in there. So that's the graphics card and the 8-pin EPS cable managed. Unfortunately, because of the super awkward length and super terrible cable choice of this power supply, this literally just has to plug in like that. So the next thing I want to show and install on this is our fan shrouds, which we have sold for quite a while, and let me show you what these are and why you might want them. So stepping away from the Meshlicious and the Meshroom S for a second, I wanted to show you the fan shrouds in their typical application. Let's just say this is the radiator from a 240mm AIO. The problem is when you mount a fan directly against the rad like that, you'll notice over time, especially if you have the fan blowing into the rad, you get a dust imprint of where the air is actually flowing through the rad, and you'll see a dead spot around where the motor sits. So the idea of the radiator shrouds is basically to take this fan that normally sits right against the rad and space it out so that the airflow can stabilize and be less turbulent, and also all the air that the fan is moving can move through all the fins, giving you slightly better temperatures, slightly better cooling. So the way that these typically work is you get a set of these slightly flexible, I call them screw snaps. So you take a fan screw and you take the screw snap and you thread that together. It doesn't matter if you're using a fine pitch screw for radiators or if you're using a coarse screw for fans. You just screw them in. Here's an example of what they look like screwed into the rad up close. And here's an example of what they look like screwed into the fan up close. So you use whatever normal radiator screws you'd usually use to mount this to a case. Screw in the screw snaps, take your fan shroud, that just snaps on like that. Screw your screw snaps into your fans with normal fan screws, and presto. You get a really solid, really easy connection that now you're smoothing out all this airflow into the rad, and you're gonna use the full surface area of the rad to move the airflow. And if you didn't have room for 30mm fan shrouds like this one here, you could do as little as 10mm, which is what this one here is. And you don't get quite the same benefits, but it does still space it out a bit. But moving back to the Meshlicious, I noticed when these fans are installed in the front of the case and they're blowing air, fans tend to blow in like a conical outward pattern. So because the side panels of this case are perforated mesh, if I put my hands at the sides here, I could actually feel air that basically is coming right from the fans, and then kind of some of it's escaping right out the side panels right away. And I thought if I could use one of the fan shrouds in here to help guide the air more into the stack of hot components, I might lose a little bit less of it going through the steel side panels right away. So I did want to try installing one of these. So there we are, the fan shroud's installed. It looks like it's going to be directing air more exactly into the hot components. It's also directing air more directly into this fin stack on the founder's card here, as well as hopefully directing air into this gap back here, because the founder's card does blow air through this way and it is going to get trapped in here. Now if you've got these couple things installed so far and life's pretty good, then great. However, if you did want to take that cooling up one more notch, we do have these flexible magnetic fan rails. And the way that these work basically is they have magnets on them, and you can flex them and snap them in here however you'd like. And the idea is that you can put 80mm fan, slide these closer together. You could put a pair of 40mm fans in here if that's what you have. Slide them open all the way. You can fit a 92mm fan in here. Okay, so slight continuity break. I had already filmed and then realized that my mic had died, so there was no sound. So the other cool thing you can do with these is you can actually get extra sets of rails. You could run like a 40 mil fan here and still run like a 92 mil fan here or something, depending on your cooling needs. So let me show you how you would actually install one of these. So first you're just gonna need to get your 4 fan screws, and it doesn't matter what size fan you're using, just put them in most of the way down, but leave a little gap, and I'll show you why in a second. So that's what they look like now that they're almost all the way down. You can see I left a bit of a gap in here. So the way this works is you're gonna just take this rail and you're gonna stretch it open slightly and hook those fan screws in like this. And that's basically how it's gonna attach to the rail. Now once these are installed in the case and you have it in the position that you're happy with, you can tighten these screws down slightly just to kind of hold it more firmly in place and stop it from sliding. But if you do tighten these screws too much, what's gonna happen is it's just gonna spread these rails apart and the screw's just gonna pull through. So keep that in mind. And now to install on the case, take your rail, bend it into position. Say you wanna cool the VRM more so on our imaginary computer here. Put that rail back more like that over the VRM area. And then we can take our fan and we can just slide it into place like that. And then you do have a little bit more adjustment this side to this side, and your finished product is gonna look something like that. And this one is, again, slid over towards the GPU side because we're gonna need as much help getting the heat out from this 4090 as possible. So last but not least, we have this new fan cover section here. And what this does is it replaces these PCI slots that are normally situated on the back of the case here. So normally this and this both have PCI slots. So the first thing that you gotta do to install this rear grille fan kit is remove these 3 PCI slots. And that's gonna leave us with this nice opening. And then we can take the grill kit, insert it from the inside. It should butt up against the case like that. So there's 3 sort of mounting options for these pieces. You can use 60 mil fans, which are mounted on this one, and I'll get some close-up shots of this in a second. You can use 40 mil fans, which would be utilizing these sets of holes here and these sets of holes here. Or you can run these with no fans, just allowing a little bit better passive airflow thanks to the bigger size mesh holes. And that's what these brackets here are for. So that's the upper grill, then there's a lower grill that goes in. So once you have those set into place, this bracket is gonna go on the inside and it's gonna catch these few screws here. And this bracket's also gonna go on the inside and it's gonna catch these few screws here. And if you've got it all lined up in there properly, you'll have something that looks like this. So basically we're using these 6 holes if we're mounting with no fans, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's a shot of the brackets on the inside. So there's one there and the other one right there. Now, if you're gonna be mounting this with 40 mil fans, because that's what you happen to have on hand or something, your 40 mil fans are gonna fit one there and one there. So the only difference is you're gonna remove this screw, and take out this bracket here. You won't need it for the 40 mil fans because the fans act as that bracket itself. And then you're able to keep using this to hold this side of the fan grill in. However, if you are buying fans specifically for this and you want the maximum performance, then the 60 mil Noctua fans that I have installed in this case right here is probably the optimal way to go. As you can hopefully see here, the 60 mil fans take up all the space and they allow for the most amount of heat extraction of the case. And that's just a bit of a close-up so you can see them. I have the fan cables just coming up and over, jammed down into this spot here, where they're tied into this fan as well. So there's a 3-way fan splitter. It's all split off the same header. So this fan and these 2 fans are being controlled all off the same header on the motherboard. So that's what I've been up to for the past month or so, working on the magnetic fan rails, the new snap shroud version of the fan shrouds that just snap into place, the motherboard standoff spacer cable management tray for the Meshlicious and the Meshroom S, as well as the replacement fan mount for the rear PCIe area up here. If you guys have any ideas for a product that's currently not on the market that you think that there should be, my email is always down in the video description. You can also leave a comment and just say, hey, I think this would be cool. And if it's something that I also think is cool, then I'm sure I'll get around to doing it. So that's it for this one, guys. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. I'm only going to continue to innovate and develop new products for new cases. So let me know if there's anything else that you want to see designed for these or any other cool ideas. Leave it down in the comments below. I do read all the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.